Chinese officials repeatedly told me, echoing Xi Jinping, that the United States was taking the world back to the law of the jungle. It's less a moral critique than a strategic anxiety. In a globalized world, when the reigning hegemon becomes utterly unpredictable, it's bad for everyone. Chinese officials claim their country does not want to replace the United States. Its business leaders insisted that America remains the more innovative economy. Even though America has soured on China, those leaders continue to admire Silicon Valley, America's great universities, and the scale and sophistication of the US market.
And now Zakaria is saying something that's completely detached from reality. He says Chinese business leaders continue to admire Silicon Valley, America's great universities, and the scale and sophistication of the US market. What innovation? OnlyFans? Instagram clones? The metaverse that nobody uses? Silicon Valley is an overhyped bubble economy built on venture capital speculation and zero-profit business models. It's not innovation. It's financial engineering. Most of these companies burn billions of dollars and never turn a profit. That's not sophistication. That's a Ponzi scheme. And as for American universities falling behind, let's look at the most recent data. Based on early 2026 research, Chinese universities have overtaken Harvard in terms of research productivity and output, signaling a major shift in global academic rankings. It's a fundamental reversal of academic dominance. Tsinghua and Peking University aren't just competing at the highest level, they're now leading in research output. China is now ranked 10th in the Global Innovation Index, up from 17th in 2018. China has dramatically overtaken the US in the Leiden rankings for research output. And in semiconductors, China is aiming for 80% self-sufficiency by 2030, up from 33% in 2024. Harvard used to be the gold standard. Now it's being left in the dust by Chinese institutions. So what exactly are Chinese leaders supposed to admire about America? The Ponzi scheme economy? The Epstein class? The $39 trillion in national debt? The 3.3% inflation rate? And rising? You see, here's the thing. According to the economists, I know, the economists, business and political leaders no longer worry about Western tech landing in Chinese hands. Instead, they fear that China is now too effective at preventing its best stuff from passing to foreigners. The tables have completely turned. It's not America protecting its technology from China anymore. It's China protecting its superior technology from the West. Foreign car makers are even turning to Chinese technology to remain relevant. Mercedes, BMW, Tesla, they all need Chinese batteries, Chinese EV technology, Chinese manufacturing expertise. American tech companies aren't leading the future. They're buying Chinese components to stay competitive. America's sophistication is a house of cards built on debt and speculation. China's economy is built on manufacturing dominance and technological advancement. There's no comparison.
China's strategy is to use this crisis to build its economic strength and global influence. China is doubling down on the frontier technologies that it believes will define the next era of growth. Green energy, robotics, artificial intelligence applied to real industries, advanced manufacturing, and services. Its dominance in some of these sectors is already staggering. It produces 80% of the world's solar panels, about 60% of the wind turbines, and 75% of the batteries. It supplies 70% of all electric vehicles on the planet.
Yup. Let's take a look at some numbers, because this is where the American decline becomes undeniable. China produces 80% of the world's solar panels. 80%. About 60% of wind turbines, and 75% of the world's batteries. They supply 70% of all electric vehicles on the planet. This is technological dominance. These are the technologies that will define the next 30 years of global power, and China controls them. Meanwhile, what is America doing? Imposing tariffs, threatening sanctions, trying to decouple from China. You know what that accomplishes? It makes America less competitive, not more. It drives up costs for American consumers and American manufacturers. It pushes other countries to find alternatives to American technology and American markets. The Trump administration thinks it's containing China. What it's actually doing is accelerating China's dominance. Every tariff, every sanction, every threat pushes countries closer to Chinese alternatives. And those alternatives are getting better every year.
China has used the last three economic shocks to further its dominance. During the pandemic, Chinese firms surged to supply much of the world with medical equipment. As the artificial intelligence boom swelled, China became central to its physical build-out. The metals, electrical equipment, batteries, cooling systems, and industrial components needed for data centers. Now the Iran war has produced a global scramble for new energy. Here again, China is the indispensable power. It dominates the green technologies, solar, wind, batteries, electric vehicles that countries will need to reduce dependence on imported oil and gas.
While America is busy dropping bombs and destabilizing the Middle East, countries around the world are asking, how do we reduce our dependence on oil and gas? And the answer is green energy. Solar panels, wind turbines, batteries, electric vehicles, all of which China dominates. So the Trump administration's war in Iran is literally forcing the world to buy more Chinese technology. It's a perfect example of how American recklessness creates Chinese opportunity. Zacharias says it perfectly. America brings volatility, while China brings equipment, credit, and continuity. That's the entire game right there. The Trump administration is a chaos agent. China is a stable partner. And the world is choosing stability.